Found an old dusty box in the back of my parents' closet a few weeks ago. Inside was my old PlayStation 2, a few scratches up DVD cases of old cartoons, and a stack of old movie tickets from when I was 10 years old. I hooked the console up to my TV, expecting to feel the massive wave of happiness, but when that old startup sound echoed through my room, I didn't smile. I just sat there on the edge of my bed, feeling like this profound, heavy sadness. It made me realize that nostalgia isn't always a warm, cozy feeling. Sometimes it's a genuine grief. We don't just miss the video games, the movies, or the cartoons we grew up with. We miss the version of ourselves that was allowed to enjoy them without a care in the world. Think about how you used to watch movies or cartoons on a Saturday morning. You weren't thinking about your bank account. You weren't thinking about whether your friends secretly disliked you or if you were falling behind in life. You could sit in front of a screen for 3 hours completely immersed in a fictional world, and your mind was totally quiet. When you play those same games, the magic effect feels distant. You're playing Halo or Minecraft, but in the back of your mind, you're stressing about a work deadline tomorrow, or a text you haven't replied to, or the fact that you feel entirely lonely. The game hasn't changed. The code is exactly the same, but you changed. The world forced you to grow up, and in doing so, it took away your ability to just be. The pain comes from realizing that innocence is a one way street. You can never go back. You look at old clips of cartoons you used to obsess over, and they look blurry, dated, and small. But in your memory, they were massive, epic worlds. It's heartbreaking to realize that you can never see those things through a child's eyes again. The media we consumed back then was a shield against a reality we didn't understand yet. Now that the shield is gone, looking back at it just reminds us of how vulnerable we've become. We spend so much of our adulthood trying to recreate those childhood feelings. We buy the remakes of old games, we watch the sequels to old movies, we hunt down old collectibles, but we're chasing a ghost. No amount of consumerism can buy back the feeling of a rainy Friday afternoon in 2010, sitting on a carpet playing a split screen game with a friend you haven't even spoke to in a decade. You look at the old friend list, or you remember the name of the kid you used to trade memory cards with, and you realize you don't even know who they are anymore. They're out there somewhere in the world, paying taxes, dealing with their own heartbreaks, completely detached from the kids you used to argue with over who got to be the player one. That's what makes the nostalgia hurt so bad. It's not just the media that aged, it's that the entire ecosystem of your youth evaporated. The specific living room you sat in has been repainted. The couch you lounged on is in a landfill somewhere. The late night TV blocks like Toonami or Adult Swim that felt like a secret club that have been replaced by endless sterile streaming menus. We are left holding onto these digital artifacts, trying to use them as a time machine. But the time machine is broken. You boot up a game from 2004 and the muscle memory kicks in instantly. Your fingers know exactly where to go, but your brain refuses to cooperate. It's constantly pulling you back to the present, reminding you that you have to wake up early tomorrow, or that you have a bill to pay, or that you're sitting alone in an apartment instead of crammed on a floor with three of your cousins. The contrast between the total freedom of that childhood headspace and the rigid walls of your adult routine is enough to make you want to turn the console off after 5 minutes. It's a haunting feeling, realizing that the things that used to bring you the most joy now bring you a weird, hollow sense of mourning. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but maybe the only way to handle that ache is to stop trying to force the past to come alive again. Those old games and cartoons did their job. They protected us when we needed them to. It's okay to let them rest in the past. and just be grateful that we got to experience that magic at least once.